Lorraine Kelly says sex life trotting along nicely, but she regrets surgery in youth. Daytime TV legend Lorraine Kelly is not going to beat herself up about going up a dress size in lockdown as she looks to grow old gracefully and speaks out against anti-aging practices. Lorraine with her daughter Rosie, 27, Image, Wire image by Olivia Buxton 19:00, 30th of October 2021 updated 19:18. October 30th 2021, comments Lorraine Kelly says she has never felt better as she prepares to celebrate her 62nd birthday next month. And the daytime TV legend doesn't care that she's gone up a dress size after tucking into sweet treats during lockdown. Lorraine this week revealed she has been binging on goodies with her cameraman hubby Steve Smith, but she refuses to let it trouble her. The TV host says, "What is really bad is that Steve introduced a wee plate with chocolate and sweeties in lockdown, so we've been having that every night. That's why I've gone up a dress size from a 10 to a 12. Have your say on this story in the comment section, but I am not going to beat myself up about it. I don't have scales, so I don't know how much actual weight I have put on. I always go by how my clothes fit. I don't think calories should be counted, but I am not stressing about the extra pounds. Until my Zumba classes start up again, I will have to do a bit more online, not eat so much chocolate plate, and I'll be fine." Lorraine, who also admitted her sex life was trotting along nicely, added, "It is all about being confident in yourself. A lot of older women can feel invisible, but I don't. I think the vast majority of women are in their prime as they get older, they just need to believe in themselves." Lorraine has long been opposed to plastic surgery. Earlier this month, she interviewed actress Jamie Lee Curtis for her ITV show and says their chat strengthened her resolve not to go under the knife. Jamie, 62, has previously spoken out against the term anti-aging, and revealed she regretted having surgery in her youth because she hated the results. Lorraine says, "I have definitely grown into my looks as I've got older, and I just wouldn't do it. I would be too scared. Any surgery where knives are involved is an absolute no-no. I don't want to look like everybody else. It's that uniform, pouty, wind tunnel look that I detest, and if you overdo it, you can look slightly bizarre. Why would I want to look 17 when I am nearly 62? It's surely better to grow old gracefully." She added, "My daughter Rosie, who is only 27, knows people having Botox for anti-aging, and I think that's crazy. If it makes you feel genuinely better, then fair enough, but I don't really think it does. I don't think Rosie would have Botox and fillers, but she wouldn't have to tell me if she did, because I would be able to see it." In 2015, Lorraine fronted the Bikini Promise on ITV, which encouraged women of all ages and sizes to embrace their bodies. After 5 weeks of healthy eating and exercise, the participants felt confident enough to show off their bodies in swimwear. And 6 years on, Lorraine still has no qualms about wearing a bikini. "I would love to do it again," she says. "You should never feel that you can't wear a bikini." These amazing viewers were adamant they wouldn't, but we knew if we could get them in the right frame of mind, they would. It ended up with everyone dancing on the South Bank. I looked around and saw all these amazing women of all shapes, sizes and colors were bouncing around. So I took my shirt off and had my bikini on underneath and just went, what the hell? The last time I wore a bikini was when I was in Singapore 2 years ago. I'll wait for when it is safe and less hassle to travel and the bikini will be back out." As well as hosting her own TV show, Lorraine fronts a podcast called What If?, alongside her daughter Rosie, where they interview a range of celebs, such as Shirley Ballas, Gabby Logan, and Charlene Spiteri. Lorraine gave birth to Rosie at 34 and suffered a devastating miscarriage aged 40. She says, "It was so difficult to go through what I did. Nobody at the time really knew what to say to me. Viewers have made up for it over the years when I have spoken about it and they write to me to share their experiences or say how brave I am to talk about it. It's an important subject to bring out into the open because you can feel so alone with it all. One thing is for sure, if we didn't have Rosie, we would have had IVF. If we had been fortunate, we would happily have had a football team. I always think it would have been nice to have a son, and I have to say that Craig David, who was on the first series of our podcast, is more like the son I never had." Get the latest celeb news direct to your inbox. Sign up to one of the Mirror's newsletters. If I had a son, I would have wanted him to turn out like Craig. He is kind, talented, gorgeous but, above all, a really decent guy. I took part in a comic relief 100-mile trek through the desert in Kenya about 10 years ago, and Craig saw I was struggling. He sat me down, took my shoes and socks off and managed to carry me. God knows how, but he is very strong. Afterwards he put plasters on my blisters and made me tea. I interviewed him not long ago and he couldn't come into the studio because of COVID, but next time, I will have to give him a cuddle if I'm allowed. Since she first appeared on Breakfast TV more than 35 years ago, Lorraine has featured in some of her favorite shows, such as Coronation Street and RuPaul's Drag Race. She says, "I would love to get done up in drag again. Honestly, it's the most empowering thing you could do. I do not like getting my photograph taken, but as soon as I was dressed up as Morning Gloria, I was giving it large. I was striking a pose and I laughed and laughed. Of course, you have to wait to be asked, but I would even come on set and make the tea for Ru. It is a really good show, it's got such heart." Ahead of next month's birthday, Lorraine says her ideal gift would be a trip to space. The star, who did some astronaut training to mark her 60th nearly 2 years ago, adds, "It would be the best present to go into space, as William Shatner did recently. I am such a space geek and can totally relate to how he said he felt like a teenager when he came back down to Earth. I might not look as youthful, but I can still feel and act like a teenager sometimes." To listen to Lorraine and Rosie's podcast What If? Sponsored by Beauty Pie, go to pod. /Lorraine Andresi. Follow Mirror Facebook, Twitter. Comment.